All right, guys, the Houston Rockets have traded for Russell Westbrook from the Oklahoma City Thunder for Chris Paul. It's a Woj bomb, guys. Just when you think things have calmed down, that the NBA might actually just take a break for a little bit, it's just another big-time trade. This one changing the landscape a little bit, but not as much as you might think. My first impression from this trade was a little bit of, why would the Houston Rockets do this? It feels a little bit just like trading players, but not really improving all that much. But I think how you have to look at this if you're a Houston Rockets fan is that Chris Paul was very obviously on the verge of a downturn. And the Houston Rockets, the last 2 seasons, have really been close to just taking that next step, going to the finals. 2 seasons ago, they were a terrible three-point shooting game from going to the finals and honestly winning everything. And this last season, you really saw kind of that dip from Chris Paul. And something else that comes with Chris Paul and is only going to be enhanced with age is that he's injury prone. And as he gets older, it's only going to get worse. You can only predict it more. And so I think how you look at this, if you're a Houston Rockets fan, is you're bringing over Russell Westbrook that will replace the production of Chris Paul, albeit in different ways. But you're going to maintain the level that you were before. It's going to be different. Russell Westbrook is a force of nature. He is going to come in and he is going to be that just force on the floor that goes to the rim, forces the defense to bend and to react to what he's doing and open up things for other players on his team. Harden does the same thing, but in a different way. It's going to be really interesting, honestly, where you've got Harden in a lot of ways is probably the better half-court player and can just set up a play and an efficient play on every single time he touches the ball. Harden is just elite at offense in every way. Westbrook is that guy that gets the rebound and goes. He will instantly help the Houston Rockets in transition. I think what people are going to also say about this is you've got 2 ball dominant players in both Harden and Westbrook. And you wonder how they're going to share possessions. Well, we kind of already answered that question before with Chris Paul and James Harden. That was the question when Chris Paul came over to the Rockets was, how will a ball-dominant guard like Chris Paul be able to coincide with James Harden? Turns out they did pretty well. When they were on the floor, they were good. They figured out ways to score. In a lot of ways, Chris Paul being on the Rockets took a little bit of the load off of Harden, especially in the playoffs. And so that's the thing that's going to happen with Westbrook is he's going to be able to take some of those possessions from Harden and help out. Now, in the half court, Westbrook isn't as efficient as Chris Paul. So that'll be interesting to see how will they coincide in the half court. It's definitely going to help in transition. In terms of half court, though, that's the question mark. Can they figure it out? Can Westbrook be a spot-up shooter? Can Harden be a spot-up shooter? We already know that they've played together before. I mean, this is really a reunion, and it's going to be interesting where Westbrook and Harden, who played ages ago in Oklahoma City, now get to play together again. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun to watch. Now, for Oklahoma City, basically every draft from here on out for the next 4 years is Oklahoma City picking for everyone. Pick 2, Oklahoma City. Pick 3, Oklahoma City. And then I guess the Pelicans will pick here and there. Oklahoma City has done so well with a bad situation this offseason to make up for losing these stars. Paul George requests a trade to go to LA. They get an insane amount of picks. Russell Westbrook, who had, by a lot of accounts, one of the most untradeable contracts. And it looks like they, according to the Woj, Rockets for Chris Paul, first-round picks in 2024 and 2026, and pick swaps in 2021 and 2025. So 2 first-round picks, and the better of the other 2 picks in 21 and 25. They are just killing it in terms of getting a load of picks back for these players. And people will say, well, those are late first-round picks. They're not that good. The thing is you can combine those picks for better ones. You can trade up. So if a moronic team like the Phoenix Suns decides they don't want to pick a nice player and trade back and pick a worse one, you can go up and take advantage of that. And there are teams like Boston, for example, who had a lot of picks this draft, didn't want to pick 3 guys. You can figure out a way to get up and move up the draft. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'm thinking up this as we go. I'm sorry. Guys, this is a fun trade. I'm excited to see Westbrook on the Rockets. And according to Sam Amick, it looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder might not be done. Chris Paul might be going to Miami to team up with Jimmy Butler. So they'll get even more picks, dominate the draft every single year. Guys, I like this for both sides in a lot of ways. It's going to be interesting at the very least. And I think Houston is doing this basically to stay at the level that they were before because they know they're a team that's good enough to win it all. The Western Conference is going to be insane. Guys, like and subscribe this video. If you're listening to iTunes, make sure that you go to iTunes and subscribe. And also tell your friends about it. The Hoops Nerd channel on YouTube, the SLC Dunk podcast. Guys, tell everybody, like and subscribe, do all the things. I'll talk to you later.